Again, good morning. So, solids, the next level of entity. Here, we are going to draw the front and the top views of the solids based on their resting condition with respect to horizontal plane and vertical plane. So, before going to the front and top view drawing, first we need to be clear with the solid. What is a solid is actually? So, here solids are classified into polyhedrons and solids of revolution. Polyhedrons and solids of revolution. And what is a polyhedron? What is a solid of revolution? Before getting to that, solid is actually a three-dimensional entity. So its dimensions will lead through all the three axes. In the case of points, see, this is nothing but the three basic axes x, y, z. Both are all are equally perpendicular to each other, mutually perpendicular to each other. In the case of a point, which is a dimensionless entity having no growth in any axis, in x, in y, in z, in no way you can measure a dimension for that. But in the case of a straight line, you can measure its dimension as length, maybe in x axis, not in y and z axis. But for this kind of line, you can measure its length in y axis, not in x and z axis. For a straight line like that, you can measure its length in z axis only, not in x and y axis. So that's why we are calling the straight line as a one dimensional entity. It is having dimensional growth only in any one axis. And in the case of a plane, we can find the dimension in any two axes. For example, if a plane, rectangular plane, maybe like that, you can measure its length in the x-axis as well as in the y-axis. The same way, if you having a plane in this way, you can measure its length in the x-axis as well as in the z-axis. If you have a plane like that, you can measure its dimension in z-axis as well as in y-axis. So in any two axes only you can measure the dimension for a plane. That's why the plane are called as 2D, that is two dimensional entities. But if you come to a point of solids, a solid is a one which is having the dimension in all three axes. For example, see, it is a solid. It is having dimension in x-axis, in y-axis as well as in z-axis also. In the all three axes, a solid is having dimension. That's why the solids are called as three-dimensional entities. Now we are going to process with the solids only. And the solid, in our concern, in engineering graphics concern, we need to be aware on the basic anatomy of a solid. For example, if you consider a solid, consider it is a solid. It is a solid. So in that solid, the line-like structure, which are all acting as a boundary of each and every surfaces, are called as edges. Edges. Simply saying, in other hand, straight line is nothing but the combination of numerous number of points. Okay. Numerous number of points will combine and will give you a straight line. Okay, and a plane is nothing but combination of straight lines. See here, in a case of a square plane, four straight lines need to be covered in a systematic manner to form a square. These four straight lines are equal in dimension and they arranged to have equal included angle as 90 degree. Then this closed surface may be termed as square plane. So in that way, a plane is nothing but a structure which is formed by the combination of number of straight lines. Okay. In the same way, a solid is nothing but formed by number of planes. Here you can see, if it is a cube, how many planes you need to have to form this cube? In bottom, you need to have one square plane. In that side you need another one, and here you need another one. In that way, here one more, there and in the top. So inside you need 4, in the top you need 1, in the bottom you need 1. So totally 6 number of square planes are required to form a cube. So these planes will form and will give you a solid. Okay, and here, so keep this in mind. Okay, keep this in mind. It's an basic understanding of a solid in some perspective. Okay, and now in the case of a solid, who are all the edges? The boundary line of each and every plane are nothing but edges. In this solid, how many edges you are having? In top 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 edges in the top. Inside 1, 2, 3 and in the beneath 4. So inside 4 edges. In the bottom 1, 2, in beneath 3, 4. 4 edges. Totally how many edges you can find in this cube? 12 edges. 12 edges. Among the 12, in the top they are having 4. Inside they are having 4. In bottom we are having 4. And the location of each and every portion is again closely termed as the top portion or the top surface of the solid, here termed as face of the solid. The side portion or the side surfaces may be termed as lateral surface or lateral sides, and in the bottom can be termed as base. Okay, face, lateral, face. The lateral in some books may be termed as side surfaces. Okay, side surfaces. And here, as you know, this actually this surface, the top surface is called as face. The bottom surface is called as base. The side surfaces may be termed as lateral faces or side faces. In the same way, the edges also can be named. The edges in the face may be termed as face edges or top edges. The edges in the base may be termed as base edges or bottom edges. The side edges can be termed as lateral edges or side edges. Okay. And how many surfaces you can find here? As I already told you, 6 surfaces. Okay, 6 surfaces are there, and based on the type of the solid, the shape of the surface may vary. Okay, based on the type of the solid, the shape of the surface may vary. And now, beyond these all visible and existing things, one more very important phenomena we need to consider here, that is the axis of the solid. Axis of the solid. Axis of the solid is actually an imaginary line which is used to do some structural analysis in the solid. So this imaginary line is just like a backbone of the solid. It is considered as a line connecting the center of the face and the center of the base in a solid. Okay, simply saying, if the solid is like that, a line which is connecting the center of base and the center of face is nothing but the axis line of the solid. In some books it may be termed as central line of the solid. So based on the position of that line only, the position of the entire solid is considered with respect to the horizontal plane and vertical plane in our subject. So keep the point in mind, axis line is nothing but the one which is considered inside the solid, not in the outside the solid, inside the solid, which is connecting the center of base and the center of face in the case of prisms. Okay, and now we can go for studying what are all the various types of solids we are going to discuss in engineering graphics perfection. Maybe in some other subject matter or in some other perspective, the types of the solids categorized in some other way. But in our engineering graphics concern, we are considering the solids in a particular way only. Let me do above the board. Just I wrote here, the types of the solids are nothing but polyhedrons and solids of revolution. The polyhedrons further divided into prisms and pyramids. Pyramids. And the solids of revolution having very minimum number of partitions only. Cylinder, cone, sphere. These three variants only there in the case of solids of revolution, but in the case of pyramids and prisms we can have number of varieties. Okay, and generally who are all polyhedron are nothing but the solids which are all having the base shape as a polygon. If you find the polygon as a base shape in a solid, that solid is coming under the category of polyhedron. Further, based on the nature of solid, it can be divided into prism or pyramid. Okay, prism or pyramid. For example, I will give you a very simple one. See here, I am having a square base. I am having a square base. Square is actually a polygon. And it is a solid which is considered as prism. And the same square base I am going to have here. This category is nothing but pyramid. So now I think you may have a clear idea about what is a pyramid and what is a prism. Both are having a polygon in their base shape. The base shape of both solid is a polygon, say square. But the appearance or the nature of the solid is somewhat different when you compare this one and that one. In this one, the face of the solid is the resemblance of the base. The square base, the solid is having the same square shaped is reflected in the top face also. But in the case of the pyramid, we can't find the face. Instead of having the face, we are having only one terminal point which is able to connect all the side edges. So in this way, if you find a solid, it is in the category of pyramid. But both solids are having axis. See, both solids are having axis. In the case of a prism, the axis will connect the center of base and the center of face. But in the case of the pyramid, the axis will connect the center of base and the top terminal point. This top terminal point in a pyramid is termed as apex point. Apex point. This apex point will connect the all side edges in a single terminal. And the axis is nothing but the one which is connecting the center of the base and the apex point of the pyramid. Okay, and based on the shape of base, we can give the name for the solid. For example, if you are supposed to name this solid which is having square base and the solid is in the case of prism, how to name it? The name of any solid is comprises of two segments. First segment will give you the shape of the base and the second segment will give you the appearance or type of the solid. Here, if I suppose to name this solid, it is actually a square prism. Square prism. As I told you earlier, the first segment in the name of the solid denotes the shape of base. Shape of base. And the second segment will give you nature of solid, whether it is a prism or pyramid, whether it is prism or pyramid. In that case, you can name any solid. This solid is nothing but square prism. The shape of the base is square. The nature of the solid is prism. If you are supposed to name that solid, what will be the name of that? The base shape is square and the nature of the solid is pyramid. So it is a square pyramid. In that way, if you supposed to name that one, how do you name it? It is actually a triangular prism. Triangular prism. If you want to name it, what is the name? Rectangular prism. Rectangular prism. In that way, you can name the solid based on its base shape and the nature of the solid. Okay. And this is nothing but the polyhedrons. The prisms and the pyramids are coming under the category polyhedron. In both, the base shape is a polygon, regular polygon. That's very important. And then solids of revolution are nothing but three variant we are having: cylinder, cone, and sphere. See, why these three solids are termed as solids of revolution? Because these are all generated by the revolution of planes. Revolution of planes. For example, what is actually a cylinder? How it look like? Simply you can draw the cylinder in that way. It is actually a cylinder. And as per our engineering graph is concerned, how this cylinder is produced? By rotating a rectangular plane with respect to this vertical axis. With respect to this vertical axis, I am rotating this rectangular plane. If I rotate it, automatically this will develop as a cylinder. This will be generated as a cylinder. And if how to get the cone in the same way? What is actually cone? So it's a simple view of a cone. And how to this cone? By the same method, you need to rotate a right angle triangle with respect to this vertical axis. If you rotate that, automatically you will get a cone. You will get a cone. And how to get the sphere? Simply you need to rotate a semicircle with respect to this vertical axis, and then you will get a sphere. So these three solids are nothing but solids of revolution. Solids of revolution. The cylinder, cone, and sphere. We are going to draw these three things also in our concept.